All right, folks, today's DevOps SRE interview question has to do with Kubernetes, and the subtopic within the Kubernetes is namespace. And the question are really twofold. One is, how does namespace protect your resources from one namespace to another? And the second one is, how can you make sure that pods from two different namespaces cannot ever talk to each other? So those are the two-part question around the same topic. Before I go give you the answer, I will remind you to subscribe to my channel. It's free for you. It doesn't cost you nothing, but it does wonders for my channel. All right, on to the answer. So first of all, namespace is basically like almost like environments or like boundaries, if you will, that Kubernetes gives you by default. So if I create an application or a pod or deployment or anything with a name pod 1 in namespace 1, I can still create pod 1 in namespace 2, and they will both live and do their thing and doesn't mess with each other. You can have, and that's why it's called namespace, right? Because in namespace 1, pod 1 exists. In namespace 2, pod 1 exists, but they're not the same thing. So that's how they're isolated. So you can have multiple environments, multiple application boundaries, what have you, right? But here's the thing: if there are no network boundaries policies protecting them from each other, and they live in the same underlying host, they can still talk to each other, right? So that is a kind of like a loophole that exists for pods to communicate between namespaces. So what you have to do is make sure, if you never want them to communicate ever, what you want to do is you want to set up a network policy that explicitly prohibits from these communications from happening between the pods or whatever other resources you're talking about here, right? So that's the way you make sure that they never talk to each other. All right, I hope this was useful to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.